In 2013, we have seen dogs of the highest quality competing all year long.
And as Crufts 2014 is fast approaching, we've got to take a look back at an incredible year on the dog show scene.
This is the best of 2013.
Welcome to Around the Dog World, the best of 2013.
Today we want to review what has been a fantastic year with the country's best dogs going head to head week in and week out.
To help us analyse the action, we have a couple of the country's most recognised canine personalities, Andrew Brace and Di Johnson. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for asking.
Also on today's programme, we have coverage of the final General Championship show of 2013, LKA, where the final top dog positions were decided.
Plus, we will hear from all this year's top dog winners and touch on a couple of news stories that have influenced the sport throughout the year.
Loads to fit in today, but before we wrap up the year, there's a couple of shows we've missed since our last outing at Midland Counties.
That's right, the first was Working and Pastoral Breeds of Scotland, where we saw a bearded collie winning only its second CC Di take best in show.
Yes, how super for her. A lady called Debbie Waitman, who I believe has had bearded collies since she was very, very young. This was out of a homebred bitch, and I think by a Swedish import. What a lovely end for the year for her. Won't she be looking forward to 2014?
We also missed Gun Dog Breeds Association of Scotland, where we saw a Gordon Setter taking best in show.
This was the bitch, wasn't it? Calypso Goddess. This is a very successful Gordon Setter kennel. Made up quickly, very young, because this is a very slow maturing breed. Very classy bitch. I like her a lot. And, you know, she's still very young.
We then head to British Utility Breeds Association, Andrew, where a familiar face took best in show there.
Yes, Ricky the Standard Poodle, who of course had a marvellous year in 2013. And of course at Booba, to win best in show at this show under this judge was particularly significant because of course the best in show judge was Fefi Summerfield.
Yeah. And it was Fefi's retirement show. The last time we shall see her in the ring judging. Fefi, I can't begin to tell you how respected, admired, loved. What a wonderful combination to end on. Happy retirement, Ferelith.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Andrew and Di. Now, we'll see LKA Best in Show a little later on, as it played a very important role in deciding the winner of the Top Dog competition.
But first, let's take a moment to watch last year's top hound and top dog all breeds, Jilly, who ended her career with the biggest win of all at the beginning of 2013.
And the winner of Best in Show at the Town Show 2012 is the petite number 257.
Winner of Best in Show Welsh Kennel Club 2012 is the Petit Basset Griffon Vendéen, champion Soul Trader Peekaboo.
I think everyone involved in Around the Dog World was very happy to see Jilly taking top dog and winning best in show at Crufts last year. But it was a far closer run thing this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, this year the hound group was relatively open. Having said that, there were some super dogs making the going tough. I mean, Di, I know you have a soft spot for that beagle bitch.
Buttercup. I do. I think that kennel, David Craig, produces consistently good stock. But this young man, this David Craig, has been associated with several top-winning Labradors as well. And now doesn't just show one beagle. He's got a team of three or four.
Yeah. He's done very well in a short space of time
He
with
has.
his beagles.
And as you and I know, Andrew, beagles are not an easy breed.
They certainly aren't. Are they, Marina?
No.
We all know that, except
Yes.
Simon, who's in the dark.
I might try it one day.
And then that lovely Saluki.
Classicus.
Prefix to be proud
it's
of.
the Classicus affix has been around for years and years, always associated with beautiful type and intense quality. And of course, joint forth this imported Rhodesian Ridgeback.
That you put up early on.
As a puppy. Mea culpa.
Yeah.
But my goodness, he's gone on. I think he picked up 3 groups. He's a very, very handsome dog, good moving dog, and I think will be of great use to Ridgeback breeders in this country. From Holland.
Called Dookie, by the way.
You always know everything by their
I
first
know, but
name.
they bring them to the ringside to me and tell me their pet name.
Yeah, you've just got one of those sort of faces.
Just got
you
a
always,
friendly face.
you always love pets.
His name's Dookie.
But of course, the most important award was Top Hound, and that went to the Whippet champion Shalfleet, simply a lord.
Gorgeous.
And another very long established kennel.
Yeah.
Shalfleet was, of course, established by
Yes.
Barbara Wilton Clark, now being taken over by daughter Jane.
Yeah.
Again, it's good to see the second generation people continuing to do so well.
Yes, it is.
We spoke to Jane Wilton Clark about her year that sees her and Lord finish as Top Hound.
Many congratulations on winning Top Hound with Lord last year. Did you expect to have a year like that?
Absolutely not. It was incredibly surreal to be told that he was Top Hound. We were obviously well on our way to being Top Whippet, so that was the aim, but it just is amazing. It's been a little while since a Whippet, I think, has topped the Hound. I bred him myself, so he's a special part of my life. He's actually called Troy. We call him Troy at home, and he's a proper outdoor Whippet.
And just tell us about how many CCs he's got. And
He's got 20 now. He's only just 4. I didn't start showing him until he was just over a year and a half. So we started quite late, but sometimes it's better that way. They can mature and body up. And he just hit the floor running. He's had a couple of group wins. He was obviously Hound Group 2 at Crufts last year, which was phenomenal. We had an entry of over 500 Whippets. I just didn't even think of winning Open, let alone going all the way through. So, yeah, it's tremendous.
And the next group to take a look at is the Working Group. And in 2013, we saw a repeat winner in the Bouvier de Flandre. Champion I'm Special, in essence, Movado at Canix.
This is an interesting dog to me because he is so typical of his type. He is such a good example of his breed standard, and he's such an excellent mover. Don't look like I'm talking a foreign language. You've put the dog up.
Yes, Di, I have put the dog up. I gave him the group at South Wales. I'd seen him at a few shows in the summer, and I thought he'd gone a little bit flat. He wasn't really firing on all cylinders. And I remember Dave in the summer coming out of a group and saying, my dog did not deserve to win today. And he's a true dog person, and Dave knows when his dog deserves to win. And the day I had him in South Wales, he was on fire, and I actually put him over the Newfoundland Stride and Style, who had been my group winner at Birmingham National the previous year.
And then your ticket winner
when he went on to win Best in Show under Robin. So, but going back to Dave Killerley, interestingly, Dave judged the Working Group, where his group winner was the lovely St Bernard bitch, Sparks Will Fly, the Best in Show winning bitch, handled by Tanya Gresher, who co-owns it with Alison Granger, who was in the rankings this year as number 4. And of course, we also associate Tan with a big winning Tibetan Mastiff a few years back. Yogi, I think he was. And interestingly, this year, we have a Tibetan Mastiff actually ranked as 3rd in the Working Group, the import of Richard Gardner's. And for a breed that doesn't yet have challenge certificates, that's quite an achievement.
And Marina caught up with Mo's co-owner, Fiona Lambert, to get her thoughts on another wonderful year for Mo.
so Fiona, many congratulations. Movado is top working for the 2nd year in a row. How does that make you feel?
I'm absolutely ecstatic. Unbelievable, really. It's a dream come true.
And can you tell us a little bit about the dog and his background?
We first saw, not the dog, but the dog's grandsire, and his name is Trust Dusty. So we were desperate, really, for a Trust Dusty son come over, and this was the best option. The breeder actually had kept him for herself, and she'd run another dog on for us. When we went out to get him, he had grown too large for the UK show scene. So she, was very generous and said, "You can take Movado." So really lucky to have him, and he's turned out a fantastic dog for her as well. It's been great promotion for her and her breeding.
What particularly do you think is so eye-catching to the judges about him?
Well, I think he's got very, very true footfall, very sound dog. When he's moving, he's just a big powerhouse. I mean, he looks just old dog, and he's like a big teddy bear as well. So, and especially with Dave handling, I mean, the two of them look just partners. They look great. So.
Before we continue up the top dog table, we have to take a look at some of the most important news stories in 2013.
That's right, and we'll start with one that will affect every dog owner in England in the coming years: microchipping. Last year, the Environment Secretary announced that every dog in England will have to be chipped by 2016, and in Wales by March 2015.
And a very positive story for one breed in particular this year, Andrew and Di. French Bulldogs have been taken off the high-profile breeds list. That takes us down to just 13 breeds on that list. Is that a step in the right direction?
13 too many, in my opinion.
I totally agree.
I think everyone knows our opinion of the high-profile breed list. Complete nonsense.
And an insult to healthy, happy dogs.
And the last news story that we've got to take a look at is possibly one of the most positive stories that we've had from dogdom in possibly the last decade. Something to do with a little dog called Jilly and a charity dog walk.
Well, basically, after Gavin and Sarah had won Best in Show at Crufts with Jilly, Gavin in particular decided that maybe there was an opening to attract some positive publicity to pedigree dogs. This little idea of maybe doing a charity walk somewhere just germinated and grew like topsy, and until you had hundreds of dogs and people, celebrities, 4- and 2-legged, making their way from the National Exhibition Centre to Great Ormond Street Hospital, and in the process raising close to £50,000 for charitable causes. And for the week basically captured the imagination of everyone who's interested in pedigree dogs.
We need to keep this goodwill feeling going. This brought dog people together.
And it hasn't actually stopped there. There are more events planned, one of which is the Poscas, which is happening the night before Crufts, like an Oscars, but for dogs.
The Poscas will be a celebration of every part of pedigree dog shows, from judges to training clubs, and all the winners have been voted for by the public.
And if you aren't watching a repeat, you might still be able to make your vote count. Visit the web address here and cast your vote now.
Not only that, you'll get to watch highlights of the award ceremony on Around the Dog World in April, the same programme as our Crufts coverage. Now, we need to get back to the top dogs, and next is the toys.
Which, Andrew and Di, is for the second year in a row most hotly contested. The top 3 dogs are just separated by 4 points.
It's always a tough group, toys, isn't it? And this country produces some excellent toys. And we've got a joint winner this year.
That's right.
One of which is no stranger to the Top Toy Award, and that is
Eric.
Eric. See, she knows the pet name of everything. And he's called Eric because he's really called Cantonard. Yeah, this of course is the Yaki Pekingese, the latest from this very, very famous kennel, who has now established a new breed record. He's now the top winning Pekingese of all time, which is highly appropriate because he must have passed about 27 of these wretched vet checks. Yeah. And interestingly, he's joint top toy dog with a Chinese crested bitch, who herself is the top CC winning crested of all time, who, you know, I love coincidences, won the toy group under Bert Easton, who was the usual handler of the Pekingese.
We can't overlook this King Charles Spaniel. What Theo has done is tell people that King Charles Spaniels can take their place movement-wise. This is an enthusiastic dog that strides out. And bear in mind, in my opinion, sometimes when we see the 7 groups come in, the toy group can consist of the soundest dogs.
Very often.
Which is from our generation, Andrew, where gun dogs were sound. This is a complete reversal. Toys are breeds to be proud of.
And in fourth, we have this young smooth-coat Chihuahua that's doing very well very early on, and I think there's a lot more to come from this smooth-coat.
Liz Cartledge gave it reserve Best in Show at Richmond. A real stylish, a real little corker.
Play Misty for me.
Everything we want from a toy dog.
And Chihuahuas should be saucy. They should have that. They are big dogs in little frames, aren't they?
Yeah.
And of course, the joint top toys were the crested champion de Brita Diaz and the Pekingese champion Yaki Cantonal.
And we got a few words with everyone involved.
Well, congratulations, Bert. It's been another phenomenal year for Eric. Tell us a bit about 2013.
Oh, thank you. It's been a great year for Eric. I'm saying he hasn't been able to go to so many shows because he's won so many CCs under the judges before. But on the occasions that he was shown, I'm saying he's done very well.
You say he's won all those CCs.
43 CCs.
And a new breed record this year.
New breed record holder and very young. He was still only 3 years old when he beat the breed record holder, and the last breed record holder was 6 before he managed it.
Wow. What are his plans for the future?
He'll get limited showing this year because there's very few judges we can show under, but we'll take him for a little bit longer.
Strange outcome this year. You've finished joint top toy. He was top toy last year. It's been hard competition in the group ring, hasn't it?
It's been very hard competition. I think the toy group's been the strongest group all year, and I think to do so well has been fantastic.
Congratulations on winning top toy with Mia. How do you feel about that?
I'm just so over the moon. I just can't believe it, really. It is amazing. I said I was on cloud 9 when somebody told me, because I didn't follow it, and it was I was told by somebody else. So you just don't really expect it, do you?
And did you have any idea that Mia was going to be, the big success that she's been?
No, because she's just my pet, really. She just turned out to be a good show dog as well as a pet.
And what's she like to live with at home? If she's a pet at home, she must do all the usual things.
A nightmare. Nightmare, never still. She runs round. Her and her brother do a wall of death constantly at night when they're coming from work.
And the next group winner we come to on our way up the top dog table is the gun dog group winner. And Andrew and I, we spoke about both the top 2 dogs in this group last year on this very programme about potential big winners in 2013.
Well, having already said the gun dog isn't always star-studded with wonderful moving dogs, there's no doubt about it that Pearl and Ice Maiden are just stunning on the move. They take your breath away in profile.
Well, I mean, it was you that actually tipped Pearl for great things, I think, last year, didn't you? You'd seen her as a youngster,
yes.
and very much fallen for.
Yeah.
And I'd had Ice Maiden at 3 counties and given her a reserve CC,
Yeah.
I think, as a puppy.
Yeah.
They're both shown by young lady handlers.
Yes.
Both these bitches have incredible carriage for their breed. They move exactly like that breed should move.
Mm-hmm.
And let's not forget number 3 in the gun dog group, because this is
don't-
no slouch.
I don't want to forget him. He's my idea of a dignified gentleman.
Yeah.
He's almost an elder statesman, isn't he?
Aaron McGregor.
Yes.
The Welsh Springer.
John Thirlwell's dog.
Are we talking about John as the elder statesman here?
Never John wouldn't
Or
mind.
Aaron?
The dog never lets him down. I mean, he's getting on, isn't he? He gleams, he's in great nick, and on the go around, he just is lovely.
Well, I think it was Birmingham National I had him, and he won Best of Breed handsomely. And I remember when I judged him thinking to myself what incredibly hard condition he was in. So we've had three really good gun dogs at the top this year.
Yes,
And handled by 3 really good handlers
yes.
as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, before we move on from the gun dog group, we did see an incredible achievement from a Hungarian Vizsla this year, who became the first ever dual champion for the breed. Now, to put that in perspective, there have only been 13 other gun dogs since about the 1960s to have become dual champions, mainly German Shorthair Pointers. Incredible, really.
This is a dog called Bitcon Gold Coast at Northey, and I think this is a son of
The famous Yogi.
Yeah. I think he won 9 CCs in the show ring, but has gone on to prove that he is a first-class working gun dog.
So if we turn our attention back to the show ring, where there are a pair of Labradors who have done rather well in the UK last year.
Yeah, and this is an incredible story of dedication, enthusiasm, passion, endurance. A young man based in Italy called Franco Barberi, who as a young man became passionate about Labrador retrievers, got hold of some of the best breeding stock he could, was turning out wonderful Labradors in Italy, which is a country where Labradors are inherently strong anyhow, and produced a brother and sister called, fabulous, and Italian, Romeo and Giulietta. The whole thing is just so wonderfully romantic. And they've come over, and this is a competitive breed, and they have dominated Labradors in the UK this year. And of course, Romeo in March at Crufts won Best of Breed. Then, of course, he goes on and wins the group and pulls off reserve best in show. He's a very, very clever guy,
Popular man.
Franco Barberi. Popular? That depends on how many times he's beaten you, I think. But he certainly knows what he's doing.
He's entitled to our support, isn't he?
Absolutely.
He's charmed us. Yes. We like him. We like
he's very good at charming people, is Franco.
We like to see
He's an
him.
Italian charmer, that's for sure.
He's difficult to interview, though, with just a few words of spoken English.
Listen, he understands a lot more than he gives away, don't you worry. If the new chairman was sat in the audience tonight,
Yes.
what would you ask him?
To care. I see myself as the judge that was banned.
Right, we need to make sure we fit everything in today, so let's keep moving. The next group winner is the pastoral group winner. It's champion Allmark 5th Avenue. She continued her winning ways from last year with a group win at Crufts, and she was placed almost every time she came out this year.
And at the start of the year, I think it was essentially Tiffany and the Wire that everyone assumed would end up in the big tussle at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Well, she did finish the first 6 months of the year in top dog position.
And deservedly so, because she's one of those dogs, as I believe the second in that group is the Shetland Sheepdog. Exactly the same descriptive terms. Never let their owners down. That Sheltie is just remarkable. He comes into the ring, Sid his name is, he comes into the ring every time.
She goes with her pet names.
He comes in every time and he gives everything he can to Debbie Pearson, his handler. The first and second in that group show us all what it must be like to have a showing fool as a pet.
Yeah, and she's clever, Debbie.
Yes.
I mean, her presentation, and the presentation indeed on Australian Shepherd, I've never seen them look other than immaculate.
And Debbie, of course, another second generation.
Yes. Her
Learned from
father
her father.
her father was a great character.
Great expert.
However, top pastoral and third top dog all breeds is champion Allmark 5th Avenue, the Australian Shepherd. Tiffany's handler Angie Allen gave us her thoughts on her year in the spotlight.
So Angie, it's been a fantastic year for Tiff. Tell us about 2013 and what it means to you.
It was the most fantastic year of all my dog career, and I have had a few over the years with the Old English, but it was just absolutely the one. I mean, it started at Crufts. What a way to start, really. That was a highlight of the year. I mean, to get in that ring, the big ring at Crufts, and she just performed so beautifully. Just felt that we really went well together, and when that spotlight's on, the pressure's on. And then we went from there to Wales, got Best in Show there, and Welks, and Peyton, and it's just been a fantastic year. People have been so encouraging as well.
And just tell us a little bit about Tiff's personality. I mean, she's got bags of personality, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's a total fruitcake all the time. She's on the go. She's just such a happy little girl. She's difficult to handle sometimes because she's just rather full of herself.
Now, there is another breed in that group that we will mention, but we'll have to come back to that a little later on.
But now we have to turn our attention to the battle at the top. Wire Fox Terrier Oliver and Standard Poodle Ricky have been battling out for supremacy in 2013 ever since Birmingham National.
And it came down to the last show, LKA, to decide where the award for Top Dog 2013 was going.
Let's set the scene. Going into LKA, Ricky was leading Oliver by 10 points. But after his win at the Eukanuba Champion Stakes, on the weekend of LKA, he was in Florida representing the UK at the Eukanuba World Challenge, so couldn't score any more points.
That meant that a Best in Show win for the Wire Fox would give us a joint top dog, with both dogs finishing the year on 153 points. Anything less, and the Poodle would take away top honours.
So it was finally balanced in the LKA Best in Show ring. Oliver had already won the Terrier group. He and the 6 other group winners went back into the Best in Show ring under Frank Kane.
And the group winners are all gathered. First in is the winner of the Dundalk group, the Pointer, followed by the Newfoundland, the Saluki, followed by the Samoyed, the winner of the Pastoral Group. The Wire Fox Terrier. Now it's the turn of the Bichon Frise, winner of the Toy Group. And finally, the Lhasa Apso, winner of the Utility Group. Mr. Kane is now going to go over those dogs that he didn't go over in the groups. So the first one he's going over is the winner of the working group. It is the Newfoundland. It is a dog, and its number is 5394. On the table now is the Lhasa Apso, winner of the utility group under Bob Gregory. It is a dog, and its number is 2500. This is the Lhasa Apso, number 2500. Moving again is the pointer, number 7662, winner of the Gundog Group. There were 2,280 dogs entered in the Gundog Group. The next dog to be moved is the Newfoundland, a dog, winner of the working group under Jeff Horswell, where there were 1,197 dogs entered in the group. Now it's the turn of the Saluki, a bitch, number 10357. Now it's the turn of the Samoyed, another dog. And now it's the turn of the Wire Fox Terrier, number 10627, a dog. The Bichon Frise, winner of the toy group. Its number is 55, and it's a bitch. And finally, the Lhasa Apso, a dog, number 2500, winner of the utility group under Bob Gregory, where there were 1,499 dogs entered. Mr. Kane has called for the boards. They're in position. We're about to find out the winner of Best in Show LKA 2013 is the Samoyed dog number 4238. Reserve Best in Show goes to the Wire Fox Terrier, another dog, number 10627. Can we see these two lovely dogs go round the ring, please? Best in Show, LKA 2013, the Samoyed, followed by Reserve Best in Show, the Wire Fox Terrier.
There we are. Dan the Man, champion Nicara Diamond Dancer, wins his second Best in Show of the year, meaning Oliver, champion Travella Striking Steel, finishes the year reserve top dog. But first, Andrew, it has been a super year for this particular Samoyed, hasn't it?
Yes, and interestingly, his first Best in Show, I think, came at the City of Birmingham, when I should actually have been judging Best in Show. But kidney stones dictated otherwise. And he won Best in Show under my stand-in, Ronnie Irving. But then intriguingly, having watched the Sammy win on television, I was judging the pastoral group at Belfast, where the dog was in the group but actually handled by the other co-owner.
Valfria?
So anyway, he won the group under me, and it came as quite a shock to me to discover it was actually the same dog. Yeah. But he's a very impressive dog, and he's lovely moving, great on the go around. Out and back, he is so clean, and he carries himself well. He's an extremely handsome...
Yeah, he's very eye-catching.
He's a good moving dog, and he has a definite sort of attitude about him.
Yeah, he's masculine with quality, and he has this lovely silver-tipped necessity for the breed. Mm-hmm. He's a super dog.
And that, of course, left Oliver just 2 points shy of the top spot in reserve top dog position. even after becoming only the second dog in history to win 8 Best in Shows in a calendar year.
And to have a year like that and not come out top dog is almost a little bit of a shame.
Well, let's not feel too sorry. He did have all those Best in Shows. And we're talking about a kennel that consistently brings out top winners. I got a glimpse of a puppy bitch a few weeks ago that'll come out next year and set some hearts racing, I'll bet.
Before you get too upset on behalf of the Wire, look what he was beaten by. I mean, this is not an ordinary poodle.
Yeah, valid point, Andrew.
I mean, and at the end of the day, Ricky actually won his first Best in Show under Bill Brown-Cole.
Exactly.
That speaks volumes in itself. It's one of his major competitors. He makes the dog Best in Show. The dog is exceptional.
And speaking of Bill Brown-Cole, we spoke to everyone from the Trevella Kennel about Oliver's record-equalling year.
Congratulations, Bill and the team on a fantastic year with Trevella Striking Steel. Bill, you bred this dog. Tell us a little bit about his history.
Well, he was... his sire was Star-Lord, who won the group at Crufts. And his sire won Best of Breed at Crufts as well. So we've been very lucky. We've been very, very lucky. In the last 10 years, I think we've won... How many have we won? Best of Breeds?
Crufts, 7, I think.
So he's come down from a long line of Best of Breed winners.
And how does it make you feel to see a Trevella, topping the terrier group this year?
Well, to breed it, it's fantastic. Words can't express it. It's what we aim for.
And Sue, what's it like living with this dog?
Lovely. He's really good. He's in the home. He loves the children, and he's a pleasure to have around.
And Richard, you're the guy that's on the end of the lead at most of these shows. Now, what's he been like to handle for you this year?
99% of the time he's been a dream to show. Anybody could have shown him, I think. They're terriers and they're not robots. They have their own minds occasionally, but no, he's great.
And he's still a very, very young dog as well. What's the plans for him for next year?
Well, we'll show him at the start of the year and then at Crufts, and then we'll sit down and make a decision on where we go from there.
Well, many congratulations for a fantastic 2013, and here's to 2014.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And obviously, with Oliver's winning this year, that left only scraps to be taken up by the rest of the terriers, I suppose. But our second place terrier was the Airedale Terrier, champion Katerina's Land Spicy Cherry of Arden, who actually managed to finish 4th top dogs all breed with 98 points, which is a fair old mount.
Yeah, she's had a very good year. And I think I'm right in saying that this Airedale bitch is actually the first UK champion to be bred in Estonia, which is a country which is very much in the ascendancy as far as pedigree dogs are concerned. Judy Averis, again, second generation breeder. Judy has sent a lot of dogs around the world in a lot of different breeds, including one of the parents of this Airedale bitch. And the breeder was duly grateful and basically came back to the UK and presented Judy with 2 bitch puppies, one of which is your number 1 Airedale.
Yep, Kira, handled by John Averis as usual.
Yeah, Judy's son, 3rd generation dog man. And of course, John's not just had the Airedale to play with, has he? No. She was number 2. Number 3 in the top terrier was the Irish Terrier.
Exactly, he'd had great success with that. In fact, went Best in Show, I believe, at Windsor.
Under Sue Garner.
Yeah.
Now, I know when your Great Danes were being shown, by your own admission, your husband, your handler, possibly fell in the sort of flashy category.
Yes.
Would that be a fair assumption?
Yes.
Okay, but I know you're a great admirer of the slightly less extrovert handlers, and Johnny slots into that category perfectly.
I think the handler, back to Jason with Ricky, the handler promotes his dog. Flashy handlers like my husband
promoted himself.
Exactly. Luckily the dogs went with him. No, I do like this more self-effacing sort of handling. I like John Averis's handling. I like his personality. I like the way he's pleasant to everyone. Lovely. I like 3rd generation. You know what I'm like about continuity. No, I think John Averis deserves a well done job for his success this year.
Well done, Johnny.
us to the utility group, and a particularly strong group this year, Di.
Yes, Simon, but the utility group is always a strong group. It's perhaps the most interesting of the groups because it has the biggest variety and selection from tiny breeds to very large Akitas. It has been a good year, but I suggest it's always a good year for the utility group. The winner stands away. Dalmatians, there's always a good Dalmatian. I don't remember a time, do you, Andrew, when we didn't have a star of a Dalmatian?
There's usually a good Dalmatian around or two. And of course, in that kind of breed, there is no hair. What you see is what you get. So, you know, a top-winning Dalmatian has to be an animal that has movement, that has balance and carriage. And there are usually one or two knocking around that are of top quality.
I think it's a very strong group. Jenny Alexander has, I believe, 2 sisters and a brother from this litter.
Yeah.
And they've all got made up. And they are consistently good quality.
And of course, one of your weak spots. We can't ignore the Akitas, can we?
Oh no, of course, because they're good.
We have got some very good Akitas in this country.
I mean, this great Akita that's third, that is Best in Show winner.
This is Born This Way.
That's right, yeah.
But now they've brought out another one that some people say is even better. Will.i.am, is it called?
Yes, and I think Will.i.am is great. He's won Best Puppy in Show. We've admired him, haven't we, Simon? Best Puppy in Show regularly. He's a great dog with all the appeal of puppy still. Great bone, a great head. It's an interesting point, you know, with Ricky, this standard poodle. He charmed us through the puppy and junior stages. Now he even charms us more in maturity when he's got a haughty and even more look down your nose look about him.
But he's still only 2 years of age.
I know, it's amazing.
It's incredible.
It is amazing. I don't ever remember sitting bored at a utility group.
I don't remember you ever being bored at a group.
You're right. I've just remembered schnauzers. And look at schnauzers as well, how wonderful they are.
Our experts keep getting carried away talking about Ricky, so let's get to it. Our top dog. In 2013, we have seen this dog pick up 15 CCs, all with best of breed.
He has taken home the prize of utility group winner no fewer than 11 times.
And in the Best in Show ring has won 6 Best in Show and 3 reserves.
Top utility and top dog all breeds 2013 is the standard poodle champion Afterglow Maverick Sabre.
And it's the standard poodle Best in Show Oklahoma 2013.
Standard poodle. Number 20, it's a standard poodle. Champion Afterglow Maverick Sabre.
So Andrew, while we were at LKA in December, you were out in Florida, of all places.
In the sunshine.
In the sunshine, to see Ricky win the World Challenge.
It was a little bit tough for me, to be honest, because I was actually doing the ringside commentary for the World Challenge, and hiding my feelings was very, very tough, because once Miguel Angel Martinez, the Argentinian judge who actually judged the finals, and he placed the first runner-up, which is the equivalent to third, the very, very elegant Doberman bitch from the United States
The one
was
that's
third.
got more Facebook likes than probably all of us put together.
Yeah, Fifi. She has a Facebook page called The Fifi-nator, and she has 350,000 followers.
I'm one of them.
Well, there you are. Then this incredible Dogo Argentino bitch, second, that everyone knew Miguel Angel Martinez has done very well for in his native country. And when that went into second,
what were you thinking at this point?
I'm like with my heart in my mouth, thinking Ricky's got it, and desperately trying to control any expletives that would die. And of course, I mean, he just lifted up. I mean, I've got the hairs on my back standing on end now. Miguel Angel just lifts up this rosette, shows it to the crowd, and goes over to Jason, and it was very tough to keep the tears back, I'll tell you. And everybody went wild.
Yeah, star performer.
Yeah, but you know, having spent the week with the dog, you know, because we were all in the same hotel, what amazes me with that dog is how sensible he is. He'll curl up at Mike and Jason's feet under a table somewhere, And then Jason will just take him into the ring, and it's like visibly the dog moves up a gear. And he does exactly what Jason asks him to do. You know, we talk about handlers and dogs being two parts of one whole. Here is a classic example. The Eukanuba World Challenge. Top dogs in the world, top handlers in the world. And even at that level of competition, these two just stood away.
Now, we have to mention the kennel, because not just Ricky, but Pearl, the American Cocker, finished top gun dog. Afterglow made up their 100th champion this year. They won a collective 8 best in shows. They won Pup of the Year with a young tricolour dog, the UK Champion Stakes, the World Challenge, and top dog in 24 hours. That's an incredible year.
Even by their standards, I don't think they're ever going to have a climax to the year like they have this year.
Can you?
But they're just, as we always say about top winners, they're not greedy. Ricky will probably go to Crufts, but that's it.
Yeah.
Ricky's had his time.
And this is the mark of a great breeder. They're not one-trick ponies.
Yeah. And don't we deserve to give Zena Thorne-Andrews a mention here?
800 cc's.
Yeah. They are usually mini wires, but she has had mate champions in other breeds. She had great wolfhounds years ago. You know, there are strong kennels to be admired in this country. They deserve respect. For me, the thing I like most about Jason and Ricky is that Jason allows Ricky to do it, and Jace goes with him.
Yeah, the dog sets the pace. Yeah. Watching that dog go around the ring in Orlando, the dog was magical.
That edge of maturity as well. The fact that he's 2 now.
Yeah, but Di's still not fully mature. The best is yet to come.
I know, but he is getting haughtier. We stood watching Tom Mather do Best in Show recently, didn't we?
Midland Counties.
And that dog, that poodle, and also the Wire on the day, 2 group winners, both dared that judge.
Well, guys, we're running out of time. We could talk about them all day, but let's speak to the men of the moment. And that's not just Ricky. We'll speak to Mike Gadsby about the incredible 2013.
So, Mike, in 3 words, can you describe 2013?
Well, with the inability to use a swear word, I'd just like to say it was amazing. It truly was an amazing year.
With so much going on this year, Pup of the Year win, 8 best in shows, topping 2 groups, top dog, Eukanuba World Challenge, Champion Stakes. Can you pick a highlight from that year?
No. I mean, the World Challenge was spectacular. It has to be said, that weekend is fabulous. And, you know, it's a great show. And I think that I was, like, overwhelmed with pride, not only about the dog, but, you know, my partner Jason, who's American, showed the dog so fabulously. And for him to go home, that was probably the highlight, really, you know, because he was touched by the whole thing and I was thrilled for him. You know, we've had a great year, particularly with Ricky, obviously. The dog was only 2 in September. You know, having finished the year top dog, we decided it was the time to finish his show career in the UK. I mean, obviously, we're going to take him to Crufts.
Yeah.
But I think, one, we were ready to retire. We'd had such a great time and there'd been a lot of pressure. You know, it was a nail-biting finish at the end of the day. And the work getting these standard poodles into the ring is considerable. The point is that sometimes it's really important to retire these dogs when they're on top and everybody loves them. I mean, he's been a really popular dog. And so I think you kind of owe it to the dog to retire them, even if they're young and even if potentially they've got better to come. Leave people with a really good memory. That's our philosophy, really. It always has been.
Yeah. And having a year to finish top gun dog and top utility, there's a lot of campaigning in the year.
Well, you know, the Crumb has, having stolen her, it'll be 2 years this Crufts since she stole her from me, having won Best Puppy. At one point, I thought that Jason and I might have to do a little bit of a touch-up here or there, but the reality is she's done it all herself, and she's emerged into this talented handler. She's presenting the dog beautifully. So in actual fact, our involvement basically was providing her with a dog that we're really proud of. And again, you know, Pearl will be retired at Crufts. So, you know, we're saying goodbye to 2 real favourites.
And we've heard a lot through this year. Di Johnson in particular has been talking about seeing you come into the dog world as a young man. Tell us about that. How did you first get started?
I've always been crazy about animals. I've always been crazy about dogs. And my parents heard that somebody who bred dogs in the village had like a weekend job going. And so when I was 13, I started working for Lorna Island, who was quite a famous Pyrenean breeder. So, and then she started taking me to dog shows. And you know, I think the first dog show I ever went to, I was like, oh my God, this is fabulous, I want to do this forever. And you know, my parents, for say the first 20 years, they thought it was a phase, you know, and then eventually it became apparent that there was something that, you know, we've devoted our lives to this, I guess.
As you're saying, there was an awful lot of pressure throughout the year. You had the wire fox and yourselves and the Australian Shepherd all up for a top dog at some point in the year. You're now heading to Crufts, Ricky's last show. Are you feeling the pressure at the moment?
No, to be honest with you, I'm surprised that I don't feel more pressurised. All I would say is that win or lose, we'll have a really good time at Crufts. And if we win, I'll be obviously ecstatic. And if we don't, we've still got, you know, this great dog, and we've had these memories from last year.
Well, I think we have to say congratulations, Mike. It's been an incredible year. And you can already look forward to Ricky's daughter doing some winning as well.
Yeah, you know this. I mean, we've got this beautiful young bitch. In fact, we've got several young bitches. I mean, I'm desperately trying to find a really super young dog. But at the moment, we've got like 3 really super bitches. The one that we're showing at the moment, she got the reserve ticket today. She's just out of puppy, and we're really thrilled with this. She's beautiful. And then Pearl's mother has a litter by the Pup of the Year dog, and so the Crumbs champing at the bit. They're like nearly 8 weeks old. She's got her eye on stealing once again from us the best of those. So, you know, we keep trying, and we really work hard at it, as everybody does. But, you know, it's always the next challenge, which we always look forward to. So,
congratulations to Mike, Jason, Ricky, and all the other winners in 2013.
Thank you very much to both Di and Andrew for joining us today. And of course, thank you very much for watching.
And we'll see you next time on Around the Dog World for Pup of the Year and when we look ahead to Crufts 2014.